How are you? This is Lee the Appraiser at the world-famous APR57 galleries here in New York City on West 57th Street. So what we have here today is a very interesting pair of unique items, both connected with the first astronaut on the moon. So what we have here is one of the most classic and in-demand and unique style watches in the world. This is called the Omega Speedmaster. That is considered to be the very first watch that was worn on the moon. And the story goes that approximately, I guess about 1967, NASA, that was in charge of our moon spaceship program in Houston, in Texas, sent out some people to the watch stores in the area to find out what the best watch to wear on the moon. And they wanted something that was anti-magnetic, meaning that it would not be controlled at all by gravity and by the weightlessness in the space. So they wanted something that was mechanical, kept very good time, regardless of the environment there, as well as easy to read and reliable for our very valuable astronauts that were going to go into space. So they actually sent some people to various stores in the Texas area, and they came back with a number of watches, and out of all the watches they picked what's called the Omega Speedmaster Chronograph, which was a mechanical watch, and became, after they decided that this is the watch they wanted, they went to the store, and I think the story goes that they bought about 6 examples of this watch, and they gave them to the astronauts. And this is one that not only is this the watch that was worn, the style that was worn on the moon, this particular example has a very rare number 321 caliber movement, and also it dates based on the serial number to 1966. So the date I believe that they went on the moon, they landed, was July 20th, 1969. So we're talking about 31, 41, 51 years, about 50 years ago, I guess 2 weeks ago, 50-year anniversary to 2 weeks ago, is when they landed. And so what makes this watch so super cool is that this watch dates, this particular example dates prior to them landing on the moon. That means this watch dates about 1965, 66, and they landed on the moon in 1969. So approximately 40 years prior to them landing on the moon and picking out this example, this watch was purchased by a collector. And it has the back, if you can see it closely, the original Speedmaster horse emblem on the back. You can see that clearly. It has the original Omega stamp on the buckle. This is the original bracelet that went with the watch. It has the original tags and numbers on it here as well. And if you look at any of the old movies that were made on, in fact, I just saw the documentary of, I think it was the Neil Armstrong story that came out about 4 months ago. You will see him. You will see in the original remake of the 1969 with Tom Hanks, First Man on the Moon, they all were wearing this exact watch, the Omega Speedmaster. And the ones that were made after 1969 that was on the moon will show that it will have a marking First Man on the Moon with the original engraving from Omega. But again, this is prior to them landing on the moon, prior to the date and time when NASA picked the watch for them to wear. So you see it does not have any of those markings. So this is when the case makes it much more unique, rare, and valuable. And this example, if you can look at it, the dial, the hands, the bezel insert, all in original condition from the original collector that purchased it. It has not been cleaned. not been polished, and in absolutely perfect original condition. This is something that, in this condition, the appraised value would be about $40,000. You know, we're wholesalers here, so our price will be less than 15, but this is really an amazing example of this particular watch. And with this watch, we are showing here, this is an original American League baseball. It was when the president was Bud Selig, who was the commissioner, and this was signed by actually the first astronaut and the first person on the moon by the name of Neil Armstrong. So this is a pretty cool thing to have both these rare relics and collectible items that pertain to the first man on the moon, an original Major League Baseball signed by Neil Armstrong probably about 30 years ago, and of course this beautiful Omega watch that is one of the earliest examples known in perfect condition that they used for the moon. So I guess you could say together both these items are something that would be classified as out of this world, and you're welcome to see this in our gallery and see them in person. There's no charge, obligation to view what we have here. We have a lot of crazy unique items, various other items of collectibles from all sports and all sorts of life, and you're welcome to view them in our gallery in person at any time. We're on 200 West 57th Street. We have a 4,000 square foot brand new gallery here, and you're welcome. We're open every day except for Saturday, 6 days a week, typically from 9 to 6:30. Okay, and my name is Lee the Appraiser. If you have anything of value that you may want to show us, you want to have it appraised, you want to know what it's worth, you want to know the origin, its authenticity, I'm happy to be at your disposal. You can bring them in, stamps, coins, jewelry, watches, autographs, antiques, artwork, paintings, furniture, and we'll be happy to do our best to give you a free verbal appraisal and any research that's necessary to help you, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Okay? Cut.